Hello all, welcome to the Video Basics tutorial for clear writing at Marlborough College. What you are looking at is a reasonably well composed laptop camera shot. And reasonably well composed is what we're striving for in this course. You're not going to win an Oscar for your production in this class, your production work in this class. And so what does reasonably well composed mean? Well, it means that we are incorporating some basic video production concepts in a purposeful manner. And these concepts include elements of shot composition, camera angle, and lighting. And so let's look at all three of these. First, let's talk about shot composition. Notice how I've set myself off to the side of the screen. I'm using what's known as the rule of thirds. I've split my shot into 6 sections, and I've placed my subject, me, at the intersection of 2 of these imaginary grid lines. Okay. This offsets the shot and creates a more pleasant, less imposing experience for the viewer. In doing this, I have also paid attention to my place in the shot, particularly in relation to my headroom, right here, the space between the top of my head and the top of the screen, and in relation to my lead room. And this is the space between the direction that I'm facing, in this case I'm actually facing this way, and the edge of the screen. Okay, so creating this space creates a sense of openness in the shot. Now let's look at camera angle. You may not notice it, but I've adjusted my camera angle so that I'm looking straight at you. This sounds pretty basic, but it's something that is often overlooked in video production with a laptop camera, and I'll show you what I mean. So let me just move this around, and when we place our laptop camera in its normal unsupported position on a flat surface, the angle of the camera at the top of the screen shifts. And this shifting places the subject in what's known as a superior angle, meaning that the viewer is looking up at the subject. This has the potential to create a strange social dynamic, and it also generates an unflattering up-nose shot of the subject. You may have also noticed a change in the audio, and this is due to the nature of the omnidirectional microphone that you learned about in the audio tutorial and the proximity and resonance of the table that the laptop is resting on. So that has an impact in your audio scope. By elevating the laptop, you also notice where my position changes in the screen and how much less room I have because of the angle of the screen. But by elevating the laptop, and I'm doing this by placing the laptop on a pile of books. Let's see if I can get my original angle back here. It takes a little adjusting because I want to make the viewer experiences as beneficial as possible. When we place the laptop, by elevating the laptop, we create a shot with a neutral angle, and I'm still working on it, equalizing the status of both the viewer and the subject and creating a more pleasant overall experience, an equalized experience. And we gain an improvement in audio, so that's a nice little benefit there. So finally, we've done those first 2, shot composition, camera angle. Let's take a look at lighting. And now you're actually seeing me in a 3-point lighting scenario, and you're going to learn more about this in the 3rd section of the tutorial. But I want to take a minute to show you this because I've built my own 3-point lighting system without any tools. So in front of me is my key light. The key light is my primary lighting source, and it is located at a 45-degree angle to my subject, me. And I happen to be using the sun as my key light. I'm facing a window, and I've got my laptop set up pointing towards me. The camera points towards me, but I'm facing the window. It's a large window. To my right is my secondary lighting source. This is my fill light. And so the fill light is a less powerful light that fills in all of the areas of the subject. And it is set up, I think I just mentioned this, it is set up at a opposite 45-degree angle from the key light. So basically what we're doing is creating a triangle with me at the point. And finally, I'm using the overhead lights in the classroom as my backlight. And the backlight is designed to cast light down on my shoulders and the back of my head, illuminating me from behind and offsetting any shadowing that both the key light and the fill light are creating. These are less powerful lights as well. So you've got the key light that's the most powerful, then the fill light and the backlight are less powerful. I didn't spend a dime for this great light setup. All I needed to do was observe the way that the light is in the room that I'm in and then react accordingly. And I had to experiment a little bit. Even now, I'm not getting it quite right. You notice that on my nose, every now and then I move into a different light, and the key light starts picking up some reflection, and so I have to pay close attention to that. But there's a lot of free light available out there, and if you pay attention to the lighting scenarios, you can do this for no or very little cost. Let me show you what happens when you don't pay attention to lighting. And hang with me for 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I've done is I have moved my body 2 feet, and I'm now sitting on the opposite side of the table. Literally, I've just gone to the opposite side of the table and I've turned my laptop around. What I've done, though, is I've placed the sun behind me, and in doing this, I've dramatically changed the feel of my video. The viewer can barely see me. My face is cast in shadows. This giant bright spot behind me is very distracting, and that distraction takes away from the value and professionalism of your production. These are important things to consider because your viewer is going to judge the value of your presentation based on the way that they're able to interact with it. And it's your not just objective, but it's incumbent on you to create a positive viewing experience for the viewer. And now we're back. 2 feet makes quite a difference. So that's it for Video Basics. You'll have a couple of more videos to watch just to drill this information home, and then a quiz, and you'll be 2/3 of the way through this tutorial. The third portion of the tutorial will be on lighting. I won't be introducing that section, so I'll see you at the residency. I hope you found this informative.